Hi, welcome back to the homestead. So I really thought that I was going to be sharing a lot more content with you this past year than I ended up doing. I filmed a lot, I just haven't uploaded or edited or any of that kind of stuff. But there are lots of things to update you on here at Pine Haven. And so I guess, now is as good as time as any. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. Nope, I don't know where they're right there between the trees. There they are. Puppy dogs. Our little LGDs are being really good little puppies. So let's see. I think the last thing I showed you was the makeover that I did in our dining room. So since then all of the things in the house that I have done some updating on. And if you follow me on Instagram at Pine Haven Homestead, you can kind of see some of those updates that we've done in the house. But I did the living room, I did the hallway, I did the dining room, and then I just finished like a mini facelift makeover in the kitchen. And then I have done the floors in both of the kids' rooms. And so pretty much our downstairs area is pretty much completed with all of the flooring project that I had for that, save the bathroom, which is really low on the priority list. But having the kitchen painted and the floor all solid surface with the rest of the area has been a huge game changer, and I really like it a lot. So it's a total mess right now because that's kind of what my life has been like in 2024. Just a series of messes and busyness and just projects. And so then let me tell you about what we have been working on out here on the actual homestead section part. So let me go ahead and show you. But before I show you that, I forgot we had a patio, like a covered porch on part of our house that was really not conducive to our way of living. And our house was built for some reason with no proper entry or mudroom. So we spent last year in April, we closed in the porch. We had construction company come out, contractors come out and do it. And it has a bunch of windows. It's walled in. We have running water and electricity and a heater out there. And I have a big, huge double utility sink out there. And so the main goal of it was, to have a mudroom type of situation, especially for now in the wintertime when there's snow on the ground and the kids have their snow boots and their snow jackets and their snow pants and their bibs and all of their things. And I was so sick of that coming in and just being in the dining room. So the main focus was to get that built so that we had a place to dump all the crap. But then also I found a double utility sink for super, super cheap. And I was like, well, if we're going to do that, then I need to have running water out there. And so now the milk station has been moved out into our porch. And so that's where we do all of our milk processing. And we have a refrigerator out there. And it is so nice to not be processing milk in the kitchen anymore and to have a space dedicated to it. And it's clean and just ideal. So that was kind of the main purpose of closing in the porch, but we use it for so much more than that. So it's going to be great for seed starting here in a couple of weeks, to have a table out there and to be able to seed start out there and get the windows and all of that kind of stuff and have it out of the way for the kids to be messing with. And then it also was really great for curing. So I had cured my onions in there and potatoes, and it's just really great for harvesting, having an extra harvesting space since, as you can see, the goal of a greenhouse and garden shed did not happen in 2024. So that kind of is happening now in the porch. But let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you all the things that we've got going on out on the homestead. So I think last year or the year before, it was in 23. I think I told you guys that we put in these sugar maple trees. So we have 3 sugar maples, and then over behind the kids' play jungle gym thing, I got some hazelnut trees. So I have a Webster, a McDonald, and a Hall's Giant. The Hall's Giant is just a little teeny tiny sprout, but I've got a McDonald and a Webster, and we got a few nuts off of them this year. But then here is where the Hall's Giant is. So I'm really excited. Oh, and you can see all of Holly's, our bunny, our resident bunny that escaped all of her footprints everywhere, which is really fun. And we have Holly sightings practically every day. And she is just the cutest little bunny. And then over here, 2 of my 3 apples produced apples this year that I had planted before. And then as far as in the orchard, I did end up losing all 3 of my cherry trees. I still just have the one that I got as a sapling. And as you can see, that one looks like it's doing pretty good. One of the other cherries, it sent out a sucker above the graft, and so we're gonna see if that will come back. I added the cattle panel arches onto a couple of the boxes, and I raised up a bunch of the boxes, which I'm not sure if I shared that with you guys or not, but so the plan is to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more of the boxes and get them raised up so that they're double tall, and then have to fill them with more soil. The plan is to top these guys with soil again in the spring and then get things planted out. I planted garlic because the voles are just still redonkulous. I planted garlic in my barrels. And then I did do some over there, and I had to put wire cage over it because of cats and free-range chickens, even though I tried to not have free-range chickens this year. I did plant a couple more trees. So my yellow Newton pippin died. No. Yes. No, my Cox's orange pippin I thought died, but then it sent out a shooter. So it did get planted again over there, right there. It was a tiny little thing. So I got a yellow Newton pippin to replace it there. And then I got a pink pearl apple there, and then a Roxbury russet over in the corner over there. So I got those planted, and I got 1 more black currant planted over there. And that's pretty much the extent of the plantings that I did. Oh, I'm walking the wrong way because I want to show you my beautiful, darling, gorgeous, adorable cows in their frozen tundra. So we milked this beautiful black cow, Buttercup. We milked her every day from Labor Day all the way until the new year. And that was Labor Day 2023. So we did a solid like 16 months of milking with her or something like that. She is pregnant and due to calve at the beginning of May. And then this is her heifer daughter, Iris. And we just, fingers crossed, got her bred today. So we had the guy come out and got her bred. And so just fingers crossed, praying to the Lord that the timing was right and that she will successfully take that pregnancy so that we will have hopefully another calf coming in the end of October, beginning of November. But they are absolutely spectacular cows, and we love them so very much. Other than that, not a whole lot happened out here. We did have to do some cattle panels because cows. And then we do have plans to extend and add another paddock in the back here this year at some point. And but mostly a lot of our focus this year was just, you know, taking care of our cows, getting weight on my black cow, and then getting her bred, and she is just a beautiful cow. So that was a big focus of our energies in 2024. Another pretty fun thing that we did here in 2024 in this orchard area was we raised our meat birds in here. We got the Freedom Rangers or the Red Rangers, or we got them from McMurray hatchery, and we got their brown Freedom Rangers, I think, or McMurray Rangers. I can't remember what they're called. But we raised them here in the orchard, and they they did not ruin my plants. So like they didn't ruin the currants and they didn't ruin the apples. But I had some other I had comfrey growing around each of the trees and some other companion planting guilds around the trees, and they decimated those. But they did a really good job at kind of taking care of some of the knapweed. And so we'll see how successful that was here when the snow melts and spring comes back. But they're really good birds. They taste delicious, and they did escape. They're they're less food motivated. Those dogs. They're less food motivated than the Cornish cross, but they seem to be much healthier birds, and so we really liked them. In that vein, we decided to keep back 1 rooster and 3 hens because we get straight runs, and so we chose a rooster that was very roostery and did his business, and 3 of the really good looking hens, and they are actually up here on the hill with the goats, and so we cut them back to see if maybe they could lay eggs and fertilize the eggs, and maybe we could grow some of our own meat birds somehow with that. So it was successful because the girls are laying eggs, and they are pretty regular at laying an egg every day, if not every other day, even in the super cold, low light, lack of sunlight, short day hours, winter time. They are still laying eggs, and they are of significant size, and we've had a number of double yolkers from them, which is quite interesting. But so we're excited to see if that venture will work. Most likely we'll have to collect the eggs and incubate them ourselves instead of letting the hens set on the eggs. But that shouldn't be a problem. I don't think. We have an incubator and we've done that before. So I'm not too concerned about that. It's just making sure that we get enough eggs to make the incubation worth it. But I think we still may order in some meat bird chicks to raise along this year as well, just to ensure that we do get chicken this year. But I'll go ahead and take you guys over there so you can take a look at them. All right, so there we go. There are our rooster and 2 of our hens. The other one might be, they lay their eggs in the back corner in that little shed over there, and that's where they like to do it. And I have to tell you guys that if you are going to house your chickens with another farm animal, I recommend doing chickens and goats together, because the goats do not eat eggs. They have no interest in the chicken eggs, and they leave them alone. And so you are able to then get the eggs from your chickens, which is the point of having them. And the goats are absolutely adorable. They are still our weed eaters. We didn't breed anybody this year, so we just have our 3 regular Nigerian dwarf goats, and then our old Nigerian dwarf goat, Stella. We did lose our 5th one this year in June, which was pretty sad. But now we just have these 4, and they all seem to get along pretty good. So that's been really fun. I don't know if you can see, but just back behind, you probably can't. Maybe I'll try zooming in. You might not be able to see, but just right there is Holly, our bunny. She's back there just kind of chowing down on a few things. Before I move on to the other side, I thought I would show our covered porch. It's all cleared in. You can kind of see the sink and the refrigerator in there. And then the plan is to get a couple of tables to go along these windows there for seed starting. And then doing this build out meant that I got to add on to a flower bed there, and then we have a walkway, and then another flower bed over there with our patio. And this has been probably hands down the best addition, the best thing that we have done to this property since we moved in. We use this space so much, and it was so worth it. Okay, now I'm back up on the hill. I got my sweet little boys here. Hi, Knox. We did have a number of chicken losses this year, which I think can be expected when you free range your birds. And a lot of those losses actually were with all of our junior chickens because they just would not stay put in the coops that we put them in. And they kept flying the coop and going over into our neighbor's yard and succumbed to whatever it was that took them. We have no idea. But now it's kind of interesting. We have our old girls that are in the main coop, and then all of our juniors are just really enjoying the old pig pen. We raised pigs again this year. We did like a Michon Duroc cross, and they were incredible pigs, the healthiest pigs that we have raised since moving here, and they're delicious and their fat is so good. But we decided that we really loved pigs, and pigs are probably one of our favorite animals here on the homestead, farmstead, whatever, that we decided that we are now going to be raising pigs more than just for butchering. So we actually are getting into the Idaho pasture pig, the IPPs, and we have a breeding sow and a breeding boar, and then we also just grabbed 2 feeders since they do have a 10 to 15 month grow out, depending on how much you want their hanging weight to kind of be. And they are amazing pigs. They're so cute. They have the greatest personalities. They're adorable, and they've just been really good pigs. And we've had them since, when did we get them? In August. So we've had them since August. So not like a super long time. And we got them all as little babies so that we could hand raise them and get them to be friendly and like us and be accustomed to our fencing. So I'll go ahead and flip the camera around, take you guys over there so you can take a look at them because I love them. Okay, so chickens and pigs get along great together, but having chickens living with pigs is less than ideal because pigs eat chicken eggs. And of course, chickens don't always have the biggest brains of making the best choices. So this is where the pigs live and sleep. That's where the chickens like to hang out. And I keep finding eggs in there. Luckily, I frequent it often enough that hopefully I am able to get the eggs before the pigs recognize that they're there. But I see that being not very great going forward. So hopefully the chickens will figure out something else to do with their lives. So this little spotted piggy here, that is one of our feeder piglets. He's the smallest of them all, but he is from a different litter than the 2 brown ones. And he's a little bit younger, so we'll see that. Hi, sweet boy. And then the brown one, the reddish brown one, is our breeding boar. His name is Jasper. And then the other brown one next to him is another feeder. And those 2 are brothers. They were from the same litter. But it is incredible to see what a difference balls makes in their growth. And then this lovely spotted piggy back there, where all you can see is her backside. That is Ruby, our breeding sow. And she is about a month older than the rest of them. And she is fantastic. We love her so very much. So our plan here is to expand the pig area beyond into the woods over there so they can have another section to go. And then we also have plans to send them out down by where the cows are because we've got a lot of knapweed down there. And we have a feeling that these piggies will be very good at helping to reduce the amount of knapweed that we have in our pastures so that we can increase our grass production and actual forage for the cows. But these pigs are awesome. We love them so much. But anyways, that is all of the updates I think that have happened here on the homestead in 2024 that I failed to share with you guys. So I mean, big plans for this coming year of 2025 is going to be, what are we planning to do? Fencing. We're planning to do a lot of fencing. So we're doing fencing to expand for the pigs. We're doing fencing to expand in the front of the house so that we can give the dogs a little bit more places to roam, to patrol, and then add and expand for the cows so they have some more area to go as well. And so hopefully this year we're going to see a lot more live births here on the farm with please having 2 calves, and then piglets. So we've got them all in there because we're hoping that they're of the right age to be able to start breeding, and hopefully we'll have piglets here in a few months and go on that adventure of but definitely, you know, hopefully we're gonna have some beef cows born here pretty soon. So that's what we did. I guess I didn't tell you that when I was over by the cows. So we bred both of the cows to Aberdeen beef bull semen. So their calves will be half beef, half dairy cows, but we're going to raise them for beef, and then just milk the girls and have the milk for all the lovely things and all of the lovely things. So that is where we're at here on the homestead. An option for you guys to check out as well, and that is at Pine Haven Homestead on Instagram. And so I look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks again for stopping by and saying hello and hanging out with me.